First of all, thank you for having me today. This is a really interesting topic for me as a president of a carrier, as well as a co-founder of an insurtech company. So obviously, I see several use cases here, having been in this business for so long, and then also you just looking at the evolution of what the tech platform can do, especially with AI. And we're talking about underwriting, but I see several use cases for carriers in particular, especially on the underwriting and the claim side. But I also see use cases for data, access to data and the ability to call data in a much different way than we all look at it today, which is typically might be some dynamic reporting, but a lot of it's static reporting still. So there will be some use cases that we'll talk through in some other questions here. Well, as I was referencing in the first question, where we're heading with predictive modeling is we are doing that on the underwriting side. So a specific example there is we're looking at the profile of our risks. So really the risk attributes that are coming in with each different type of client that we write. And so obviously there's some similarities there in some of the variables, but there's a lot that is not similar. And so what we're trying to do is take those data attributes and ultimately building data models. We're going to see what, for example, what is the propensity for a loss ratio, by a particular risk attribute. Similarly, on the claim side, we're trying to value claims accurately. Easy to do when it's the small stuff, like the least complex claims such as glass and towing in auto. But when it starts to get to maybe a case that's going to go to litigation, how do you set the reserves on that? And what does that look like over the life of that claim? So it's the holy grail, honestly, for carriers, is to be able to accurately predict those reserves. So I see the ability to use that data in predictive modeling to try to see if we can all get a little more accurate and a little better at it. So I see the biggest challenge that we all face with data is the structure of the data and the access to the data. So the structure of the data, it comes in all forms. There are some parts of it that are very structured, right? Written premiums are very structured. Policy numbers are structured. Loss ratio by policy is structured. But then there's all the data that's not structured. And so that too has been a challenge for all of us who are trying to get better data, more accurate data, and more use out of our data. So I see that as being the big one. And my advice on that is partner with as the leader of the company or your top leadership, you want a strong partnership between the data people and the leadership on the business side, because they have to come together to make that happen. One group has one set of skills, the other group has the business knowledge and the skills. And so, it shouldn't be a chore. It's an asset. And it's how do you make the data an asset to your company? And it takes that kind of partnership with those two people. And then governance standards around data, nobody wants to do it because it's time consuming. It doesn't look to yield results when you're going through the process of it, but at the end of the day, that's where the fast access and the accurate access comes to the data. Cogitate is a company that was formed by my co-founders, Arvin Kaushal and Jill Jinks, back in 2012. We formed it as a digital platform. It's a software as a service model. And it's designed to facilitate rating, quoting, binding issuance through all lines of business, both on the commercial lines and the personal line side. Very modern facing platform with numerous third-party data partners. So there's a lot of pre-integration in the platform in and of itself. And I think the proudest thing that I can say about Cogitate is it's an enabler. So I could throw a lot of statistics out for some of the clients that we do have, how fast that they've grown with a pretty rapid implementation time, but just the number of quotes, binders, and premium that have run through the platform already, for commercial transportation, personal property, flood, commercial property, and professional liability lines, just to name a couple of the lines or a few of the lines on the platform. So up and really facilitating growth for our partners. And that's the thing that we're most proud of with the company. That's what it was built for.